It's Tuesday, 6th of March. I'm on the road. It goes down to Jumbles Reservoir Dam. I also believe it used to, before the dam was built, the road was built to go down to the mill. And that's mill, not in the case of cotton mill, bleach works, so that kind of mill, but a mill that ground corn or wheat for flour. Anybody that knows any different, I'll be pleased if you could tell me if I'm wrong. Down there's Bradshaw Brook, and the Goit. We're going to be walking along that Goyton path down there above the brook on the way back. Although it's quite muddy at times on here, it's actually a very, very well made road under here. Don't know when it was built exactly, but it was it was here in the on the Ordnance Survey maps of 1850. It's shown then going down to a mill. When you get to the bottom, show the area where I think the mill used to be. Whoops, couple of mallards up here. Perhaps looking for somewhere to nest later. Not far off nesting time. I thought a lot of the stuff that they built the dam with to form Jumbles Reservoir in the early 70s, 1970s that is, must have come down here. This broken path, I don't know. Rather strange, I think. It goes down there and the water runs into the Goit at the bottom. But I think it used to run. That's water used to run down there. Well, that's a wall built there. Go down there, and then it used to go over. When we get farther down, I'll show you where I think it used to not go into the Goit, but over it and then down into the river. Hello. Hello fella, how are you doing? Hey? You're on my camera now, yeah? And this is where the land where you think the mill used to be. This is now very swampy. Hello. There is signs that there was a bit of a reservoir in there. There's a rock face, quite a lot of rock, so could also have been a quarry in its day. and that's the Jumbles Reservoir Dam. Over there. Lots of dog walkers down here. That path, which is quite steep, takes you up to the top of the dam. Here there's the housing where the controlled flow, or the flow is controlled from. Bradshaw Brook comes out of that reservoir, and the only water that comes out of it is what normally comes out of a pipe. That path we'll be going down in a minute, that's taking us back down the Goit. So the water coming out of that blue pipe is Bradshaw Brook. So I think there's a little bit coming out of the tunnel, so the reservoir must be overflowing slightly. But during the summer, unless there's tremendous storms, the brook comes out of that blue pipe, or sometimes the black pipe. When I was here a few weeks ago, all that land there, down to that tree that's chopped half down, all that had water running both sides of it. There is water coming out of the tunnel, there's very little of it. So that pipe is Bradshaw Brook. So the amount that comes out is controlled. United Utilities, who control the flow, are required to let a minimum amount out so that the brook always has a good flow. The reservoir was built in the early 70s as a compensation reservoir. The idea was to ensure that water continued running down the brook even in the summer for the mills, that's cotton mills and bleach and printing mills that were farther down the river always had water. But before the reservoir was built, this Goit, you can see here, brought water from a weir a couple of miles upstream as it was then. Do fish down there, usually starting much farther down and wade up the river. Here's the Goit. This Goit took water to the reservoirs at Bradshaw Mills. The reservoirs are mostly still there. There are smaller ones that have now gone, but the majority still there, and it's now Bradshaw Fishery, coarse fishery. As you see up there's a wall built, and that's supporting the road that we came down not long ago. When I was saying the water coming down, that water, in my opinion, didn't used to come down there. It used to come down to this pipe here. can see there's a wall built up there and a channel coming out of it that brought water down, and that pipe would appear to have been continuous and took water down to the brook. Why? I don't know. Unless it did put water in the goit, and then when it got to a certain height it overflowed. But there's the pipe. It looks pretty much at the same level as mine. The goit would have been a lot deeper. It's now silted up, but still it's a bit strange to me what they did there. See steep banks on both sides of the brook here. Parts like that, that's where dogs go down. Dogs go anywhere, don't they? But to build a goit like this, which would have run a couple of 3 miles from the weir above Jumbles, to bring water down to Bradshaw Mills, was quite an engineering feat. The brook's looking quite full actually. I think that the amount coming out of the pipe is in excess of what the minimum required. There you probably can't. The wall that was alongside that road that we walked down can be seen up there. You see how high the road was. Yeah, the goit with some water still runs that way. So surprisingly, when you walk along here, you begin to wonder whether you're going uphill or downhill. Here's a nice dog. He's hiding from you. They're teasing you. I've seen kids doing that. I've never seen a dog hiding before. That's magic. There he goes. There's the brook. What this? A couple of humps here. I'm not sure what these were. That one there and this one. Can't believe they're natural. Don't fit into the landscape of the rest of the valley. As you can see, the goit was made very sturdy, and that's not dry stone wall. It is dry stone walling, but it's obviously cut stone, cut and shaped, not field stone. We're coming to the end of the goit. Obviously, how it continued through, I don't know exactly. Obviously, things have changed here. But there we have Bradshaw Fisheries. How the water got into them reservoirs, I'm not sure. And I don't understand why there's that semicircle of stone there. Must have been a good reason for doing that. Unless there was a pump in there or something, I don't know. You see, there's now a Bradshaw Fisheries, the cafe, and the weekend you get lots of fishermen, even through the week when the weather's better. I'm not sure if they could still be frozen over as they were last week. Coming back down towards the brook. Lots of dog walkers along there. At the weekends you get lots of family walkers as well. Somebody obviously made a missed throw with that. First time I come up fishing this way in the river, I shall get hold of that and either keep it or leave it for a dog owner. What have we got now? Another dog walker down here. Springer. As always, sewage pipes. And switch off while I get past this lady. Past that lady. Don't like filming people. Not so bad with fellas if they get caught across, but don't want to be showing ladies with babies and taking the dogs for a walk. One way down there, obviously, but usually when I come up fishing, I don't tend to fish much in this stretch. There's almost always dogs in and out, whereas a bit just past this bit it's very difficult to get to the stream, so you have a bit of peace and quiet while you're fishing down there. The overflow from one of the Bradshaw Fisheries lakes, which obviously runs into the one lake to another lake and down into the brook. Strange bit of land this. I think it was the dumping grounds from the mill. You can see over there, you can see white. I think that went from the bleaching. I think they used this as a place to dump all the rubbish. But the trees seem to still grow in it. It's not naturally shaped. I mean, that's not natural, is it? And the other side's the same. I mean, they built a lot of houses where the mill used to be, which we'll see in a moment too, but nothing went on here, so I can only surmise that the land is so polluted that they decide it would be not a good thing to build houses on it. Definitely pleased they're not built on that side. This side, I don't know. But it's definitely rough land. I suppose There's been a lot of dumping from the mill when it was steam powered. All the ash. That's all that white. I don't know what that is. Must possibly something to do with the bleaching. Though they used to do printing as well. Cloth printing, that is. Exactly what they use for all these processes, I don't know. Oh. The brook's down there. Which, you can see it's not easy to get to it. But I do manage to at times. Across there's a couple of small factories. Down at the bottom of Printers Lane. Don't know why it's called Printers Lane, unless it was the cloth printing that went on Bradshaw Hall, Bradshaw Mills, I should say. Some expensive houses, in fact I think all expensive houses actually, but the big one of the mill buildings is still standing and has been turned into flats. When I first came to live here, there's none of these here. There's still a couple of old mills, been broke up into sections for different kinds of industries. Now, that's a fine wall, isn't it? Built there. And then we've got a bridge farther down. But obviously a good reason for building that wall. You see the building over there was a mill. Now flats. It's quite a big estate. Don't know how many exactly, but there's a good few houses in there. Does any of them come cheap? As soon as the summer comes, spring comes, along this wall, things start changing. Well, I'll just show you something farther up. But there's a lot of growth along this wall. It's all been cut back at the moment, but now, you see those? That's snails. And for some reason they love to go under that top bit of the wall there. Pretty much all the same species, only a couple there. More there. A load there. More there. I don't know if they're actually hibernating. They seem to be there most of the time. Well, every time I come along here, I don't count them in each spot. They obviously find sustenance off the wall, I should think. Eat algae, don't they, and things like that. But I say, those clumps, butterfly bushes, and you struggle, in the middle of summer, you struggle to walk along this path as these come out overhanging. Yeah, and then we have the bridge. That road goes up to Printers Lane. It's been blocked off. Obviously, it was access to the mill. Hello. Sat down there. I'd wagtail. But I assume this gate was put here when the mill was here, and those posts was to stop traffic hitting the gate posts. Same with that, you can see where it's warmed. But it looks like there was a weir here. Well, again, couldn't really see unless there was a pipe went into the wall that took water to the mill. Apart from that, couldn't really see why they would have a weir. Now if you look at my first current, the Bradshaw Brook in the snow, I've now got to where I started that video. You see it's private fishing here. Indeed. Right, so this was part of the factory. I did look up what was down here. I'm not sure if it wasn't the dye works. So I wouldn't put my life on it. Obviously it was some kind of building. Anyway, that's it for today.